So there's this saying that goes like, where there is death, the vultures gather. And one of the hardest things we deal with as crime scene cleaners is the utter human depravity we find in humans after loved ones pass away. The story goes like this. We had a client where basically what happened is this person's uncle unalived himself, and so the following week his sister, his mom, and grandma stayed around to clean up the garbage left behind at the house. They went back home that night, obviously grief-stricken with what occurred, and when they returned back to the property the next day, they were just in utter disbelief at what they saw. When they came back, they found that someone took his car, they took his TV, and his couch. They eventually found out that the brother of the deceased came by and decided to take his fair share of what belonged to him. Now, it is a horrible, horrible thing to experience the depravity within humans after traumatic events like this occur, and it's terrible because like people feel completely shattered after situations like this, and out of nowhere, even family will have no problem stepping in to take what they think is fair. Greed and bitterness just suck, and it's always why you should have a will set in place. But what do you guys think? What's the most depraved thing you've seen a human do? Can you get away with murder by watching my videos? So I get comments like this fairly often, and honestly, if you watch a couple of YouTube videos on crime scene cleaning and think you can get away with murder based off that information, you're gonna get caught. Like, I guarantee you, there is so much stuff that goes into a full-scale bio-cleaning job. Like, it would take months of training just to scratch the surface. I make these videos primarily because, one, I want to raise awareness about this industry and that, you know, you're not alone in times of crisis. Like, crime scene cleaners literally exist to take the burden off your shoulders when it comes to death cleanup, because it doesn't just magically happen. Like, it's not taken care of by the government or anything like that. So if you really want to learn how to clean up crime scenes, one, you'll need to get certified and trained at a company to do it. And there's a ton of certifications you can take to get jobs at these companies, but I'll put some of my favorite courses down in the description below if you want to check it out. Just don't do anything sus with that information. Crime scene cleaners must have therapists on speed dial whenever they get emotional from the scenes they see. So that's interesting you bring that up, because from my personal experience, most crime scene cleaners don't talk to therapists or professionals about the horrible, horrible things they see at work. From my perspective, therapy is one of the best things you can do for yourself, but there is still a bit of a stigma with therapy where it's kind of seen as a thing weak people do, which obviously couldn't be further from the truth. So luckily, a lot of the leadership at these leading crime scene cleaning companies have been keen on talking about mental health in the workplace and offering therapy as a benefit for their employees. And as a matter of fact, our office in Florida now offers free therapy for all their staff members, as well as the trauma victims that they serve. Like, it's incredible. Even if you don't use our cleaning service, like, you still get that therapy benefit, which is kind of nice. But who do you think should have therapists on speed dial? I want to say nurses, because they legit got to watch people die sometimes. That's crazy. So how do you guys get past the fact that you're cleaning up the remains of someone you literally could have had a conversation with not long ago? So this is a really interesting point, and everyone deals with this challenge a little differently. So let me explain. I remember the first death cleanup I did for a student around my age, and he was straight up in the same school district as me. I was 18 at the time, and the poor lad was around 16. It was a self-inflicted type of situation, and I couldn't shake the thought that maybe in some way, if I had crossed paths with him before things got so bad, you know, that I could have helped him and, you know, help prevent an irreversible action from taking place. And now I'm just on the other side cleaning up what was left behind so that the family doesn't have to. And that's a pretty heavy and heartbreaking environment to be in, especially when you hear the parents sobbing in the other room while you're cleaning up the blood. It's a tough job. For me though, it's about having the right perspective upon entering the home. Like, I'm here to provide dignity and closure for the family on like literally the worst moments of their life. And you can't get too lost in the emotions of it all while you're working. Like, you have a seriously important job to do for the family, and you have to pay attention. But you also can't completely ignore those emotions either, because that's what makes us human. So it's a balancing act. Personally, I think it's about channeling that energy you have into compassion and honor for the deceased and the family members affected. Because at the end of the day, it's better that I clean up the remains rather than someone who personally knew and loved this fellow. When you take it from that perspective, the work is a bit more manageable. Still tough though.